Cinema Speculation by Quentin Tarantino. If you like Quentin Tarantino's movies, you're gonna love this book because you really have his voice in there, and he goes. It is so much fun, just him talking about movies and the little bits and giving you the little bits of bits from behind the scenes and stuff. And this is all based on 70s movies. I think it like until the early 80s. And it's like his formative experiences in cinemas and how that was and what he thinks of those movies. Stuff. And there's a bunch of movies in here that it's made by people that are famous, but I didn't even know about those movies because they didn't necessarily stood the test of time the way that others did. But then when Quentin talking about it, it's so interesting and why they didn't necessarily work and what was the issues. Really funny as well. Really funny, strangely poignant at times. Things come around like explaining. One of the first chapters deal about the movie Bullet, and reading that was so what Quentin was saying and everything, and said, "Oh, I have to go watch this movie. It sounds so cool because I've known about Bullet, but I mean, it's like I never how good it is, but I never felt an urge to watch it. But the way Tarantino wrote about Bullet in here, I was like, no, I have to go and pick this up. I have to check this out. And it was worth it. Oh man, I loved Bullet. It was so amazing. Yeah. Amazing. And it doesn't pull punches about the stuff and the craziness of the 70s and the era and everything they had to go through. And it's a joy in like the guys, and it's like stuff about Brian De Palma's early movies, Martin Scorsese stuff. Paul Schrader shows up a bunch of times, and it's fascinating. Paul Schrader's stories about and how he got censored and kind of screwed over several times during the 70s, even though people were under impression. There was like you could get away with anything in the 70s. That was not the case. Was not the case. Yeah, man, Tarantino is such. I could flew. This was one of those few books that I had to like literally hold myself back from just blowing through it, and so that I pick it out. It's just so fun to read. Such a great book. It is. If you like cinema, if you like Tarantino, it is. And if you just like good written stuff, even for. I'll also say, if you're not necessarily a non-fiction type of person, but you want to start giving non-fiction a chance, this is a great place to start. Few are easier to read and more engaging and funny and also emotional and provocative. And the way Quentin talks about story, film especially, but also story and revelation and stuff. And you realize also in here that Quentin was quite, obviously he's an insane cinephile. There are few like him. It's like he and Scorsese that are these insane cinephiles that seem like encyclopedias that know everything about movies. But he's also an avid reader, and about it, and that is fascinating to me. Like in the stuff he read and how it influenced and everything, and the movies based on it, and I really, really enjoyed this. And all the interesting characters of the 70s, and even in and around his life and his unique, strange life, and his mom really, his mom seems to be a really interesting and awesome person. I mean, he's probably not going to badmouth his mom in his book, right? But she still seems like awesome. And such a unique, strange life that where he grew up. You could read a book if you want to, but it does feel slowly. It's partly mostly talking about stories, but you do get this half like slight autobiography about his young life and influences, and some of the influential people in and around him as well at that point. I cannot recommend this enough. This is if I have to go make a non-fiction top 10 list, I think this will at this point, it's definitely going to be on there. The question is how high it's going to be on there. And I think it's going to be pretty high. This was amazing. Pick it up. If you love cinema, if you love storytelling, this is a must read.